Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another of many videos coming out on our channel this month as I make my way through the enormous United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. I do not want to skip over or rush through anything, so I plan to visit the museum multiple times while we live here and make sure that I see it thoroughly and do it justice. Today's video is part 2 of 2 videos filmed on the museum's top floor and immediately follows the previous video. The top, or the 4th floor of the museum, currently includes the Nazi assault from 1933 to 1939, and also this exhibit which we are about to explore called What Did Americans Know? If you are interested in the Nazi assault exhibit, that video was released on our channel just prior to this one. The Holocaust Memorial Museum is technically free to enter, but because it is so popular, you still have to get a timed entry ticket online as of summer 2025. There is a processing fee of $1 per ticket to reserve online. Also, because this is such a popular museum, especially with school and tour groups coming through, it was impossible for me to get footage and great audio quality at the same time due to the noise of so many people in the background, including large groups of kids and teenagers. I've muted many clips and done voiceovers in those to explain what we are viewing without the background noise, but in some instances, muting the audio was just not an option. I apologize for the background noises and hope you enjoy this video as it is anyway. Let's get started. When you enter the Holocaust Museum, you are put on an elevator that takes you directly to the top floor to begin your tour, and we are going to skip over the first exhibit and go straight into What Did Americans Know? These are Americans protesting Nazi persecution of German Jews, taking part in a march in New York City. The Yiddish sign reads, "The Anti-Nazi Club protests against the bloodthirsty Nazis of the world. New York, May 10, 1933. These are Americans marching in New York to denounce the Nazi regime. The march took place after Kristallnacht, the wave of anti-Jewish violence in Germany and Austria. This photo is from New York City, 1938. Some 15,000 New Yorkers vent their anti-Nazi sentiments by marching in a torchlit parade down 8th Avenue. They are protesting U.S. participation in the 1938 Olympic Games in Berlin, November 21, 1935. In Chicago, some 25,000 Jews march on Roosevelt Avenue to protest the Nazi regime, May 11, 1933. American Jews taking part in a march in New York to protest Nazi persecution of German Jews. The Yiddish sign reads, "The murderous hand of the German Nazis must be stopped," May 10, 1933. Young Catholic women protesting outside the German consulate in New York, denouncing Nazi persecution of Jews and Catholics, 1935. This man reads a sign promoting a public meeting at the Mecca Temple in New York. The meeting's purpose is to urge Americans to boycott the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. An anti-Nazi protest march in New York, including a float known as the Swastika Gallows. A huge swastika serves as a gallows with 4 life-sized figures hanging on it. They represent religion, peace, culture, and labor, 1933. Some 10,000 people participate in a Stop Hitler parade. They march from Madison Square Garden to Columbus Circle, protesting Germany's takeover of Bohemia and Moravia, 1939. Another protest of 5,000 people in Columbus Circle in 1938, protesting the Nazi persecution of Jews and Catholics in Germany. A banner on a grocery store that reads, "For humanity's sake, do not buy Nazi-made goods." A student announces a meeting at Harvard University to denounce the Nazi terror against German Jews, 1938. This is a mezuzah, which is a hallmark of a Jewish home. There is a small parchment scroll bearing biblical verses, and it's enclosed in a case that is attached to the right doorpost of each room. This pre-war mezuzah from Poland was found in Warsaw after the war by a survivor. Roman Wisniak took these photographs in Poland, Russia, and the Ukraine between 1935 and 1939, a time when most Eastern European Jews maintained traditional beliefs and lifestyles. But the pre-war period was also a time of great change, since many Eastern European Jews were adopting modern ideas and habits. Wisniak is one of the foremost photographers of pre-war Jewish life in Eastern Europe. The photographs in this tower were taken between the years 1890 and 1941 in a very small town near Vilna in what is today Lithuania. This town was a shtetl, one of many Jewish communities in Eastern Europe. In 1939, its Jewish population of 3,500 people constituted a majority in the town. The cemetery tombstones bore witness to the fact that Jews had lived here for almost 900 years. The Jewish community had a rich religious culture and an energetic secular life. Famed for its Talmudic academy, it also fostered a wide range of political and cultural organizations in which young people were especially active. Most of these photographs were taken by 4 people: a man named Yitzhak, his wife Alta, their assistant Ben Zion, and Raphael, all of whom were photographers in this small town. In the studio, at parties and at ceremonies, in homes and public buildings, and in the town's streets and meeting places, their work portrays the life of the community. At first, I felt a little uncomfortable offering a postcard in this video, but after the exhibit, I felt like I really wanted to give the museum a donation, and while I was in the gift shop, I did purchase a pack of postcards. There's 5 here, and I certainly don't need them all. So if you are the first person to leave a comment down below and say that you want it, I will be happy to write a note on this and send it to you in tomorrow's mail. I'd like to show my appreciation for you watching this video. As we leave behind What Did America Know and this museum, we are left with some hard questions about silence, about responsibility, and about the cost of inaction. This exhibit challenges us to look beyond the headlines of the past and confront the uncomfortable truth that information about Nazi atrocities was available, but warnings went largely unanswered in Congress. It reminds us that history is not just about what happened, but about the people who chose to respond or not to respond. In honoring the victims of the Holocaust, we must examine the choices of those who stood by. Let us carry that lesson forward, that indifference is never neutral, and that silence too can speak volumes. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to share with you some beautiful plants and flowers that I saw on my walk home just to help us all cheer up a little bit.